Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having an awesome week so far. Students, in this class we're looking at IELTS speaking, focusing on part 1, talking about emails. Welcome Fuang. Hi Constellation, Elizabeth, nice to see our members. Good to see Carolina, our chat moderator, here to help us with questions and to make this class run smoothly. Thank you, Carolina. Hi Anna, Juan, Nipa, Riyadh, nice to see many of our students here with us as well. We are coming into the final days of June, and this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. We use the materials, the practice exams, the chat interface, and many other features for learning and preparing for the IELTS exam. So when you have a moment, visit aehelp.com. Click the big red button that's just above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access, doesn't cost a lot of money, and you have all the materials for these live classes. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center, and I'm a certified British Council agent. So you are in excellent hands with us for your IELTS preparation needs. General IELTS looks like this. It's the green background, and again, you can just click that big red button there that's just right above my head to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. When you click that button, you can use this extra little help here, the code SALES9 for an additional 10% discount. Check the price in your country. It's different in different countries based on your local economy and currency. There are just many ways that we're trying our best to help you get the right kind of learning. All right, everybody. Welcome, Amra, our chat moderator. You have 2 chat moderators with you this morning to help you learn. Hi, Amra. Good to have you here with us. Students, we do have apps. The apps will link to the websites Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. These apps link to the websites so you can learn on the go. IELTS_AEhelp is the Instagram for academic, and for GIELTS Help, it's GIELTS Help, General IELTS Help for the Instagram. If you have questions, we are here. You can send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. You can ask Amra or Carolina, our chat moderators, also in the chat. Lots and lots of help for you to know what is the IELTS, how to succeed in the IELTS, and how to reach your goal of studying in university, moving to another country, getting that visa. So we are here. Students, this week we have speaking part 1 right now. We have task 2 writing for members tomorrow. So if you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button next to the subscribe button. We have reading for subscribers tomorrow as well after the task 2 writing class. And then we have speaking part 2, speaking part 3 on Saturday. So that's what we have coming up for you. We also have YouTube videos that we're constantly releasing to give you insights, tips, strategies, information on the IELTS Communication English. This is one that we released last week. Check it out when you have a moment. AJ, you can absolutely mail your mock test questions. Yeah, we would love to see them for sure. Why not? Okay, everybody, let's get into IELTS speaking. So for those of you who are new to the IELTS speaking section, it's done separately from the listening, reading, writing. Listening, reading, writing are done together. You're with a group of people taking the IELTS exam. That takes about 3 hours to do. And your speaking is done separate. Okay. For the speaking, you are participating in a 12 to 15 minute face-to-face or computer interview with a professional English user. Often it's a native speaker. It could be somebody who's British, Australian, American, Canadian, Kiwi, New Zealander. Or it could be a non-native speaker who is an expert user of the English language as well. So be ready for facing a variety of different accents. If you're in Europe, it's likely going to be a British person. If you're in India, it could be somebody who is from India. If you're in Canada or the US, it will most likely be a Canadian or an American, most likely, no guarantees. Then you have to register for your, check in. You should register for your IELTS at least 3 weeks before your test. You should start preparing at least 3 months before your IELTS. And on the day of your exam, you have to check in for your speaking 20 minutes before your interview. Okay, and then you go to your interview. And there will be a professional person waiting there, and they will ask you some questions. We'll get into these questions, and I'll teach you some strategies. So the interviewer, the examiner, will say, "Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. It has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each." This is candidate number 9738413. This is examiner number 75992. We are at Exam Center J7XQ9. We are in Vancouver. The time right now is 15 o'clock. Let's begin. May I see your identification? They will ask you for your identification, especially in the face-to-face interview. You have to produce the same identification that you used for your registration, for booking the test, and for checking in. Okay, so go ahead, give me a nice full sentence answer. Now, when the examiner is giving you these instructions, of course, you should expect that. You should know that, okay, speaking starts with these instructions. And while you're hearing the instructions, think about strategies. Like, number 1, you're here to show your best English. Speak in full sentences right from the beginning. Show your fluency, show your confidence. Okay? All right. Anna, who recently collected 3 badges from our YouTube videos and got 10 minutes of free speaking. Good for you, Anna. Congrats on that again. Says, "Yeah, sure. Here's my passport. Please have a look at my credentials." All right. Now, Anna, just a tip. A lot of people say, "Yeah, sure." I don't recommend saying, "Yeah, sure." Okay. I recommend saying, "Yes, gladly." Okay. "Here's my passport. Please have a look at my credentials." And there's a very important reason why I say don't use "yeah, sure" at the beginning. It's not the end of the world, but I recommend avoiding it. Why do you think that is, everybody? Why do you think I don't recommend saying "yeah, sure"? A lot of candidates do this. A lot of candidates say "yeah, sure" when they get asked for their passport. Why do you think it's a good idea to not start with "yeah, sure"? So do not begin with "yeah, sure." Okay. Instead, use "yes, gladly," or use "yes, certainly," or even "of course, certainly." Here is, okay, my passport. All right. Okay, so Nipa says that "yeah, sure" sounds too informal. And that's part of the reason, absolutely, Nipa. The IELTS speaking test is a combination of formal and informal English, okay? So to get a great band score, band 9, let's say, okay, it is best to combine formal and informal language in your IELTS speaking exam. This shows that you have mastery or command of both. Okay? All right. So it is okay to use the words sure, wanna, gonna, okay? But, okay, and this is the big but you should always start formal. Going to or will. Want to. Yes, certainly. Okay, and there's a reason for that, all right? The reason for that is in the world today, especially with social media, TV, movies, people tend to speak informal English, especially at the intermediate to advanced level, quite easily. Like, yeah, sure, wanna, gonna. These come to us because we do use them often, and we see them often in movies, in music. So informal language tends to come easily for a lot of people. Formal language tends to take more consideration, more effort. So it's best to start formal for two reasons, okay? One, to get you thinking that, okay, I need to speak formal, okay? Two, to set the mood, okay? To set the right context for the examiner. The examiner definitely will feel better when they sense that you give them respect as an examiner, right? As a person who is there to do a job which is for your benefit, okay? They're there to do a job which benefits you. It allows you to get a visa. It allows you to go to university. It allows you to move to another country or to get a better job. So they're there to do a job which benefits you. They deserve that respect of the formal language at the beginning. And a third reason I can even mention is that so you don't sound like the other guy and the other girl that was just in there. So it doesn't sound like there's a whole bunch of gingerbread cookie people coming in to sit the IELTS exam and everybody's starting with, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure. Right? It's like finally somebody comes in and says, yes, gladly, here's my passport. The examiner will go, whoa, did that person just say, yeah, gladly instead of, or yes, gladly instead of, yeah, sure? That's great, right? So those are the key reasons, okay? So main reasons, set a positive formal mood for the examiner. Okay? Set your thinking to use formal and advanced English. Sound different. That do not pay attention to this detail. Okay? All right, so those are some very important reasons to start right away with a little bit more formal language. All right? Okay, Anna, does that make sense? So when the examiner says, may I see your identification? You should say, yes, gladly. Here's my passport. Please have a look at my credentials. Much better. Sets a much better mood. Okay? especially native speakers. They will pick up on that right away. All right. Okay, what is your full name? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. All right, nice full sentence answer for this one. And again, everybody, this is speaking, so I hope everybody is speaking and repeating. And while you're giving me answers, students, just keep in mind to join login for aehelp.com. We will be using the website very soon to actually talk to our viewers and measure your English according to IELTS, and do some practice and strategy and feedback. So again, go to aehelp.com and register an account when you have a moment so you can get ahead of the curve. Okay, Rona says this. Rona says, I am Ronalyn Adora, but feel free to call me Rona. Okay, Rona, it's not bad. Let me enhance that response slightly. Okay, so Rona the Wanderer says, I am Ronalyn Adora. Instead of but, students, this is again coming from psychology, as some of you know my degree is in psychology. In psychology, one advice that psychologists will give for relationship counseling is to avoid using the word but. But shows oppositions, and we tend to often use that word incorrectly. Again, here, instead of but, the word please. Please feel free to call me Rona for short. It's what I'm used to. Okay, so that's even more natural, fluent, formal, polite, accurate. Okay, so Rona, I am Ronalyn Adora. Please feel free to call me Rona for short. It's what I'm used to, or we'll often even say it's what I'm used to being called. Okay. We'll repeat the word called there. All right. Perrin, our member. Good to see you, Perrin. Perrin says, my first name is Perrin and my family name is Suraya. Please refer to me by my first name, Perrin. Perrin, very good. No space before a period. Okay. All right. Very nice. Good work. Okay. So then the examiner will say, okay, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. I will do the same. Currently, I am both working as an English teacher at a local institute, and in my off time I am studying 3D graphic design and modeling, as I have recently picked up the hobby of 3D printing. Okay. Again, fluency. All right. Using these words to emphasize. This is a correlative conjunction, both and. Okay. Just repeat after me, everybody. Currently, I am both working as an English teacher at a local institute, and in my off time, I am studying 3D graphic design and modeling, as I have recently picked up the hobby of 3D printing. Okay, that's your full, clear answer. All right. So Sheba, currently I'm both working and studying is not enough English. All right. You're not in an ESL class. It's not the examiner's job to get you explaining and giving details. They will ask you a few times, especially at the beginning, and you give some more details. Can you give an explanation? That's not a good sign. Okay. If the examiner is asking you why, can you give more details? Can you elaborate? And they're asking you that often, that's a bad sign. That means you're not giving enough detail to your answers and you're going to lose marks in fluency. Okay. It's an important tip, students. You might be thinking, oh, it's great, they're asking me for more information. No, that's not a good sign. That means you're not explaining, you're not giving details. Okay. Keep that in mind. So if the examiner is frequently asking you why, can you give an example? Can you give an explanation? Can you elaborate? It is not a good sign. Okay. It means you are not giving enough details, explanations, and examples. Now, don't freak out. If they ask you once or twice, it's okay. All right. So it's on their sheet. All right. But if they're asking you like every single question, yeah, that's a bad sign. Okay. That means you're keeping your answers too short and you're not explaining enough. All right. Okay. John Kennedy Castor has this answer for us. John Kennedy Castor says, currently, I'm both working as a registered medical technologist at City of Imus Molecular Laboratory, and in my spare time, I'm studying cooking as part of my hobby. Is specializing in pastry. Very nice. John, I like how you kind of took the model that I gave you and you made it your own. It's really good. So notice how John kind of reflects very much the same structure that I'm using, but with his own content. And John, that's fantastic. That's a great way to study and learn, okay? Making it your own. Fantastic. So again, John said, well, let me read mine. So I wrote, currently, I'm both working as an English teacher at a local institute, and in my off time, I'm studying 3D graphic design and modeling as I have recently picked up the hobby of 3D printing. John says, currently, I'm both working as a registered medical technologist at City of Imus Molecular Laboratory, and in my spare time, I'm studying cooking as part of my hobby is specializing in pastries. John, maybe one day we'll taste your pie or your quiche or some yummy pastry that you've whipped up. All right, good for you. Well done. Okay, nicely done. Good strategy. Notice how I use the expression in my off time, like when I'm not working. And John used the expression in my spare time. Those are both great. Okay. Write those down if they're new, students. Okay. Now, the lesson is recorded, so you will see it. Okay, here we go. Do you have a hobby? Okay, make sure you say yes. Don't say no to this kind of a question. All right. So, do you have a hobby? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Constellation, I see your answer to the previous. It's quite nice. Constellation says, currently, comma, I'm juggling between my studies and my job. I'm majoring in international business and working in a logistics company as a salesperson. Very good, Constellation. Very nice. Arya says, actually, I'm a student, but right now I am on a gap year after completing my high school and planning to apply for colleges this fall. That's good, Arya. Now, my immediate thought, if you're telling me that, is are you planning to do some work, even part-time work in your gap year, or are you just traveling and enjoying life? So what's your plan? You know, maybe give me a little bit more information there. When you present the examiner with an idea, like I'm taking a year between school and university, explain that a little bit. Okay. All right. Nipa. our regular student and subscriber, has this answer for us. Yes, I have several hobbies like reading novels and storybooks, cooking and gardening sometimes. Like yesterday, I cooked a Korean dish called Korean fried chicken. Neep, I love it. It's great. Okay, you don't have to give really complicated answers. Some students think that you need to use like really fancy vocabulary to get a band 9. Not really. Coherence, fluency, clarity, that's the most important. Okay, when you start a sentence with a time expression, like yesterday, you need a comma. Like yesterday, I cooked a Korean dish called Korean fried chicken. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, Shushishubi says, yes, one of my favorite hobbies is reading comic books, especially anime. Whenever I have some leisure time, I grab a comic book and read for hours on end. Yesterday, I flipped through the pages of one of my first One Piece comics. Okay, sure. Good. So those are the introductory questions, and usually you get about 1 or 2 regarding hobbies, school, work, where you live. And then the examiner will introduce a general topic that all of us should be familiar with. Now, in this case, it's emails. So sometimes they ask you about computers in general. Sometimes they'll ask you more specific questions about computers, especially parts of computers that we use frequently. And one of those, arguably, is emails, the software to send mail, right? It would be pretty hard to explain to the examiner that you've never written an email. And if you haven't, you're just going to have to pretend that you have. Even if you have never written an email, you probably know about it. So here we go. The examiner will say, let's talk about emails. Okay. Do you often send emails? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. Do you often send emails? Give me a nice full sentence answer. Excuse me. Vishal says this answer. And Kamaboko says this answer. All right, let's take a look at these. So Vishal says, actually, I do not send emails frequently. However, if I have to send my private information during that time, I utilize email. Okay. Kamaboko says, I do not send emails usually, especially if I'm communicating with my friends and family. I prefer texting, but in professional settings, no space before commas and periods, students. Professional settings, like to contact my professors, I communicate through emails. Okay, let me ask everybody. How often does Vishal send emails? So how many emails does Vishal send in one day? Okay. So how many emails does Vishal send? And then let me ask you the next question in my head as your examiner, if I'm Vishal's examiner or Kamaboko's. How many emails does Kamaboko send in one day? Give me that. Amra says, not given. Carolina says, I don't know. Nipa says he didn't mention. Okay, well, how many does Vishal send in 1 week, or Kamaboko? Oana says not even one, maybe? Okay, so obviously I am attempting to bring attention to an important point here. Okay, Octavia, depends is not an answer. All right, so what's missing? Minalik says more than 20 per day. Okay, so what's missing? Okay, Fuang says no mention about the numbers. There's no example. All right, so what you have to do to get a Band 9 students in the IELTS is you have to think about your listener. Okay, so very, very important tip. Extremely important tip. Okay, to get good band scores, you must think about your listener. In this case, it's the examiner. They are not you. They do not know what you know. And they might not even be familiar with your country or culture. They might just be there on a contract. A lot of them are. A lot of examiners go to a country on a short-term contract to conduct the exams, and then they leave, and they might not know a lot about your country or your culture either. Okay, so be careful. You have to speak clearly. Okay, for example, use numbers as much as possible. At least half a dozen times during the speaking. So at least half a dozen times means 6. Okay, a dozen is 12, half a dozen is 6. Okay, notice what I'm doing. I'm using numbers. Like you're thinking, well, how many times should I use numbers? In one speaking exam, I would say there are probably at least 5 to 6 different places where you can use numbers. If you're not using numbers 5 to 6 times during the interview, you're probably not paying enough attention, no matter what the topic, okay? Numbers are an extremely important part of humanity, okay? Animals' intelligence can be measured by their ability to use numbers. Did you know, for example, that crows, the bird, they can count. Monkeys can count. Elephants can count. So animals that have a higher level of thinking can count. Of course, humans. And there's a very good reason for that, okay? It's because numbers give us an advantage in communication and survival. Okay, for example, crows, just a fun fact for today. I should really have a sound effect for you guys for that fun fact. Send me some sound effects for fun facts. Fun fact, bing, bing, bing. Crows can count to 3. Scientists have discovered this. They count 1, 2, 3 many. Okay, obviously we are a bit better. We can count to millions, but crows can count to 3. You can do a little bit of Googling and find out how they discovered that crows can count to 3. Okay. Yes, Shushi Shubi, I am absolutely sure. There's some really interesting research that shows how they can count to 3. They go 1, 2, 3, many. Okay. All right, Chayani, ravens can count as well. Yes, ravens and crows are very close. Absolutely. Okay, so use numbers. Okay, so if we go back to this, how often or do you often send emails? Vishal, you should say, actually, I do not send emails frequently. Maybe just 3 or 4 each week. Because I do not need email for school or work. However, if I have to send my private information for administration, like registering for this IELTS exam, I utilize email. That's a band 9. Okay, do you see how that just went from a band 5 to a band 9? So actually, I do not send emails frequently, maybe just 3 or 4 times each week, because I do not send emails for work or school. However, if I have to send my private information for administration, like registering for this IELTS exam, I utilize email. Okay, Kamaboko, I do not send emails usually, only about 1 or 2 a day. Especially if I'm communicating with friends and family, I prefer texting. But in professional settings, like to contact my professors, and write I's as capital, students, those will be counted as mistakes in your writing in the IELTS, I communicate through emails. All right, much better. Okay, so use numbers. Numbers are extremely important. All right, very, very important tip. Okay, Domenico says, while I don't frequently send emails to people except when I have to reschedule a speaking class with my teacher to another day, I may send approximately 5 emails per week. Okay, and then Domenico has an example. 2 days ago, I had to reply to my teacher's email as he informed me that he couldn't give me a class due to unforeseen family matters. All right. Good. There you go. That's how it's done. All right. Next question. How important do you think emails are in today's world? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. Now, immediately for this kind of question, you should be thinking the reason. Okay. So how important do you think emails are in today's world? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. All right, let's get back to Kamaboko. Kamaboko is improving. Kamaboko is now including a good explanation. I can see it, Kamaboko. So Kamaboko says, I believe emails are very important in today's time. Most of the communication in business settings occurs through this medium, and I think emails kind of act as a foundation in this regard. My uncle sends over 50 emails each day in his accounting firm. That makes it a band 9, Kamaboko. So you're getting there. Students, remember that tip that I always give you, and I know some of you are newcomers, so I'm going to give it again. Numbers and examples. Those are the parts that a lot of students forget about. Those are the parts that you need to remember. So include examples, smooth examples. Okay, just say it. Don't say, for example. Just say it. Okay, when the example is good, it's clear that it's an example. The examiner does not have time to interrupt you thinking you're going off topic or you're going into a long-winded story. So you can say, my uncle sends over 50 emails a day in his accounting firm. Okay, there you go. All right, lots of answers coming in now. Octavia has this answer for us. I think emails are quite important in today's world because it enables people to get in contact with others without exposing any private information like phone numbers. Okay. All right, sure. Let's see. Only put your answers in once into the chat, everybody. As you can see, our moderators are very diligent in deleting people who spam their answers. So only once, okay? They make sure that these classes run smooth for everybody and it's all fair. You can't just filibuster your peers with spamming. Ooh. AJ says, well, most of the work is done by emails these days, and it's the easiest and quickest mode to communicate with other people. My coworkers send mails whenever they get issues in our workplace. Okay. Sure. These are some good answers. Now, here's a good tip, everybody. Picture the situation. So, why would you send an email instead of calling somebody or texting somebody? Okay, so think of related questions. So we all know that emails are important, right? I mean, we can all agree on that, right? Okay, so what you need to think about, and this is actually good to think about when the examiner introduces the topic. So when the examiner says, let's talk about emails, right? Then you have to think, okay, emails, what are they? Digital mail, instantaneous, Gmail, right? Digital, or more accurately stated, electronic. That's why it's called email. The E stands for electronic mail, right? That is instantaneous, instant. What else does email allow you to do? So when the examiner introduces this topic for you, right, you should not be thinking about the birds and the sun and beach volleyball, but you should be thinking about emails, and you should immediately visualize emails, when you use them, how you use them, what is their purpose, what's their advantage, right? So it's electronic mail that is instant. They are a formal record, right? If you write information in an email, it is considered formal. It is submissible by law. So a phone conversation is not. If you said, well, on the phone, she said or he said, the law, the legal system, lawyers, they don't care about that. Judges don't care about that. It doesn't hold. But if you have emails, it's legal. It's binding. Okay? So careful what you write in emails, right? So email is a formal record. Yeah, very good. Amra says we can attach documents like a CV, for instance, right? So you can send kind of a package, right? It's not just what you're writing, but you can attach documents, videos, audio, right? Okay. All right. And it also provides time, right? So it's thorough, it's thoughtful. Okay. and it allows time gap between communication. Right? You can include others, CC, BCC. So when you get this topic of emails, all of this should come to mind. Okay, all of this should come to mind. So when we get this question of how important do you think emails are in today's world, this would be my answer. I think that electronic mail is vital in the functioning of today's world, as it provides a means of both personal and professional communication, which facilitates the sharing of not only written text, but also video, audio, and picture attachments, as well as the inclusion or exclusion of others through carbon copies, or CC, as it is often referred to. I sent an email for a group project. I attached an important video and CC'd my professor just yesterday. Okay, so that would be your fluent Band 9 level answer. Now that's Band 10. Band 10 doesn't exist, but that's the mark. That's the level that you're aiming for, okay, every single time. And then if you are under that a little bit, then you're still okay. You're still going to be at a Band 8, Band 9, but that's the level of thinking, reasoning, and thought, okay? All right, so here we go. Students, just repeat after me. So how important do you think emails are in today's world? I think that electronic mail is vital in the functioning of today's world, as it provides a means of both personal and professional communication, which facilitates the sharing of not only written text, but also video, audio, and picture attachments, as well as the inclusion or exclusion of others through carbon copies, or CCs, as it is referred to. I sent an email for a group project. I attached an important video and CC'd my professor just yesterday. Okay. All right. So visualize the topic, think about the topic, think about examples for the topic. And for this topic of emails, that's what you should be thinking. Gmail, Outlook, if you're still using that, Hotmail. Okay. Now that you have a good idea, everybody, all right, now that you have a good idea, let's actually speak to each other. So let's talk to each other. I'm going to get some volunteers for speaking, and if you look at the chat, I'm sure that Amra or Carolina, or maybe both, will give you the instructions in the chat. Follow the instructions. They're the same instructions as this. As I told you, go to aehelp.com. So get on the website. That's your first step here. My strong recommendation is to join the premium version so that you get all the materials to study on and offline whenever you have the chance. Plus, you can follow with these classes, watch the videos, watch the tips, get ready for the strategies. Okay. Once you have the premium package or the demo version, you can go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, you will find all of your materials, computer-based tests, full interactive course, workbook, study plans, lesson videos, and then you will find resources here, including writing help, speaking help. Click on the Student Partner Speaking right there. and you will enter our chat interface. Thank you, Carolina and Amra, for the instructions. Okay, so again, go to the website first, everybody. That's your first step. Okay, all right. Now, when you're in here, you see all of your peers appearing, and there are always people in here looking for speaking partners. So this is not just to speak with me, but this is to find speaking partners. It's free to use, so use it. Keep it open on your computer when you're doing your work or study. It's a nice distraction maybe from your biology or chemistry or other books to have a short 5-10 minute break, a little conversation with someone. You see Anna, our premium student, is here. We have Thu, our regular student. We have Chayani, Constellation, one of our members. We have Angel as well, Gopu. So lots of people in here. And you see these little numbers popping up. That's because they know that I'm in here appearing as master. So easy to see, all big letters, master, and you can send me hello or I'd like to volunteer, and then I can see that you are ready to speak with me. I'm just searching for my headphones here. Don't mind me. And use headphones, use microphones, check your system. If this is your first time using it, you should try to check with someone before calling me to make sure that it's working. If it's not working, quick, simple fix is often just to refresh the website, refresh the web page, make a new connection to the servers. All right, let's reach out to somebody and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's see if Anahita is here with us this morning. Hi, Anahita. Are you ready? Okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Anahita.
How are you, sir?
I am good. How is East Coast Canada?
It is good. The weather is good, and I just took a very good score in speaking, and I am very happy because of that. Thanks a lot for your help and your interviews.
I saw that. I saw your email. I just haven't had time to respond to it. So thank you for your patience. And I'll look into that task 1 situation as well to see what happened to it. So don't worry about that. But yeah, Anahita, you got a band 7, if I remember correctly from your email, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That means you're a good user of the English language. That's a fantastic score. You must have been really happy to get that.
Yes, I am happy.
That's great. That's great. Well, congratulations. You deserve it. You've been working really, really hard and attending these classes. So good for you.
Thanks, sir.
Just for fun, Anahita, I'm sure some of our viewers are curious. What were your topics? So do you remember what your part 1 topic was?
Yeah, for part 1, the examiner asked me about bags, whether I use bags during the daily, during firstly he asked about general topics actually, about the place where originally I am from, and then he asked me about bags, and then for part 2 he asked me about a happy experiment that I had in my childhood, and then part 3 he asked me about memories.
Okay, good. So a happy experience, right? Happy experience. Yeah, in your childhood, and then about memories. And about bags, like do you carry a bag? Do you have a backpack? Do you have a handbag, a purse, things like that, right? I'm guessing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, first, when he asked me, I thought he was asking me about bank accounts, so I went off topic, but he then interrupted and said, no, I'm asking you about bags, not bank accounts.
It's an honest mistake. Yeah, bag, bank, right? So bank, bag. So yeah, it's good that you paid attention, and you got a band 7. See, so I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm sure you were quite nervous as well, but you know, as long as you realize what you're doing afterwards and then talk about bags, that's great. Okay, good for you, and thank you for sharing that information with us, Anahita. Let's get into a couple of questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Okay, so welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. For part one, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study?
Currently, I neither work nor study because I'm totally new in here, Canada. However, in the near future, I would like to register for one of the universities to study psychology.
Let's talk about emails. Do you often send emails?
Yes, I frequently send emails because I need to do it during my English studies in order to get invaluable feedbacks from my teacher. Just the day before yesterday, I sent one of my assignments to my teacher, Mr. Adrian, in order to get my homework checked.
Okay. I will give you some feedback. That was really good. All right. So yeah, I mean, Band 7, you're on the right track for sure. You have nice fluency and great strategy, right? You've really paid attention in a lot of these classes, Anahita, and it shows in your strategy because you're giving very confident, clear answers to the questions. You have some slight grammatical mistakes. I'll point out a couple of them in these answers, but just keep working on those and include numbers. That in that last question, you should have included a number. So here I asked, do you work or study? And you said, currently I neither work nor study. That was an awesome use of a correlative conjunction. And it's those kinds of inclusions that I'm sure if you use those, did you focus to use correlative conjunctions in your actual exam? Like, did you pay attention? I should use a neither nor or not only but also here in this case. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that was really clever. I'm sure that your examiner was like, oh, check mark, because that just makes for great English. So when you say currently I neither work nor study because I'm totally new here, not in here, I'm totally new here in Canada. Even though you had that slight or a little bit of an awkward mistake there, like new in here, Canada, instead of saying new here in Canada, because you used neither nor, it just sounded so great that the examiner, or in this case me, I just want to give you a band 7 because I still think it's good English, right? And then you definitely reinforced that you should get a band 7 at least by using this nice subordinating conjunction, however. You said, however, I'd like to continue my studies in psychology in a university as soon as possible. It was something like that.
Yes.
And I remembered it because it was clear information. When the information is clear, the examiner remembers and catches it, and you get good marks. So that was really, really good. Okay. All right. And then when I asked you, do you often send emails? You said, yes, I frequently send emails because I need to do it during my English studies to get invaluable feedback. There's no S, feedback. We usually don't use the plural feedbacks. It's just feedback from my teacher. And then you included an example. So even though you didn't give me a number, the example was really helpful. It basically told me that, you probably send at least a couple emails a day, but you should say that. So you say, yes, I frequently send emails. As soon as you say I frequently send emails, at least a couple a day. Okay, just that much. Okay, just repeat after me, and not just Anahita, but everybody repeat after me. Yes, I frequently send emails, at least a couple of a day, because I need to do it for my English studies.
Yes, I frequently send emails at least a couple of days because I need to do it during my English studies.
At least a couple a day because I need to do it for my English studies.
At least a couple a day because I need to do it for my English study.
Good. And studies, you can use the plural there, studies. Anahita, that's really good. So writing seems to be the focus. You now know that, right? Because your writing score was obviously your area of weakness. So do lots and lots of writing, Anahita, and use the writing tools on the website. When you're ready, send us a couple of essays for paid editing. It's really a good idea. Okay, Anahita?
Okay, sir. Actually, I did very good in task 2, but my problem was with task 1 because I hadn't watched a lot of videos and I hadn't checked all of the videos that you had included in the writing and the premium course either. That's why I think I couldn't get better mark in writing.
Okay, well, I will look at your task 1 today, maybe tomorrow. I'll do it definitely as soon as possible, and then I'll give you some feedback and let you know what's going on there so you can get a little bit of a better idea, okay?
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Anahita, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. Bye, Anahita.
Goodbye.
All right, that was Anahita. Let's give Anahita a thumbs up. She is working very hard. She's over on the East Coast, like 4,000 kilometers from me on the other side of Canada, and she is working very diligently for her continued studies. Okay, Gopu, we haven't heard from you in a while, one of our premium students and a lovely individual. Gopu, let's see if you're available. Are you ready? Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. That's awesome. It's really great. Gopu. Gopu, it sounds like you picked up, but I don't hear you. There could be a connection issue. Could be my end, could be your end. I'm not sure. Refresh your page. I'll try somebody else, and if it's on my end, I'll definitely circle back to you. Okay, so we'll see if we can maybe get a hold of Dilafruz. And if I can't get a hold of Dilafruz either, I'll try refreshing my page. So Dilafruz, are you ready? It's hard to tell sometimes where the issue may lie in these complex systems using all of these video, audio, chat systems, but that seems to be pretty smooth. Anahita was quite loud and clear for me. I hope she was loud and clear for everybody else as well. Ayush, welcome back after a long time. Ayush says, okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Dilafruz. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I think we've spoken before, Dilafruz, have we not?
Yes, actually, we've talked twice.
We've
so
talked
far.
twice, but it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Can you remind me where you are and why you're taking the IELTS exam?
I'm currently living in Uzbekistan. I'm doing the IELTS in order to continue my studies in English countries.
Okay, awesome. May I ask which country you're targeting? Top
USA.
choice. Top choice is US, yeah? Do you have an idea of where in the US?
Not yet.
Okay. If I may suggest, California is really nice. Florida is really nice. For sure. They're nice, warm places. Nice beaches.
Yeah.
That's where I would go if I went back to school.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking for some universities in order to pursue my master's degree.
In what major?
In teaching English or the psychology.
Okay. You are after my own heart, just like Anahita, because that's what I do. I graduated in psychology and I teach English, or specialized English anyway. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I'm not going to tell you differently. All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions and give me some nice full sentence answers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about emails. How important do you think emails are in today's world?
Well, in my point of view, emails are really crucial nowadays because it is not only fast to convey our information to other places, but also it is really convenient to communicate with professionals in lots of spheres of life. For example, in education, in medicine. That's why, so yeah, it's really important for everybody.
What kind of emails do you usually send?
Well, I send different types of emails to my friends abroad and for my colleagues abroad. For example, I send audios in order to let my audios to check to teachers who are living in the USA or in Canada.
All right. Good. Let me give you a little bit of feedback. So first of all, your band score would be certainly, I would say, close to an 8. Maybe even an 8.5. I would have to test you more. So I would have to test your part 2, part 3 to give you a more accurate understanding. But I do believe that your English is somewhere between the 7.5 to 8.5 range. So I would say maybe an 8 for these two, just based on these two questions, depending on how you would do for the rest of the interview. Okay, first of all, your vocabulary is a 9, no question about that. Your fluency is 8.5 for sure, maybe even a 9, depending on how you would do for the rest of it. Your pronunciation is an 8. It's clear for the most part. You do mispronounce a few words, but I can understand them. They're just a little bit awkward, a little bit off. Your grammatical range is quite good. Your content you can improve on a little bit. I'll show you how in a second. So I asked you, how important do you think emails are in today's world? You started slow, which is good. Slow starts are good, everybody. There are many students out there who hear that natural fillers like or are bad. They can be if you overuse them, but they are also good if you use them wisely. So when starting the answer, as you did here, you said, well, in my point of view, it's fine. I can tell you're thinking, okay? You said emails are really crucial. We generally don't say really crucial because crucial includes really. So emails are crucial, but it's okay. In spoken English, it's okay to do that. Emails are crucial nowadays because not only are they fast to convey information to other places. You don't need the to other places, just convey information. And you started with they, plural, so you should continue with they. They are instead of it's. They are. Okay, so you started with plural and then you switched to a singular. That's quite awkward. Be careful about that. Okay, so they are fast and convenient to convey information. They are also important to communicate in other spheres of life. That was a really nice expression, spheres of life. Spheres of life means like categories of life, like family, work, education. So other spheres of life. And then here at the end, you kind of got a little lost about what you should say. Okay, you were like in family and for friends, and I could tell like you kind of lost your train of thought near the end. Okay, if you lose your train of thought, this happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it usually happens to me.
Okay. Here's a good tip for you. Okay. Immediately go to an example. A simple, quick example. Okay. So right away, just say, yesterday, I sent a work email to my colleague for an upcoming English class. And that's it. Okay, so just a quick, simple example that proves your explanation or what you're saying, and then stop talking, and you're done. You're good. Okay, so that's all you need to do. So just repeat this answer for me. Okay, I'll ask you the question one more time. How important do you think emails are in today's world?
Well, in my opinion, emails are crucial nowadays for lots of spheres of our life, like work, medicine, education. Just yesterday, I sent an email to my colleague about teaching speaking.
Wonderful. See that? See how that example just kind of saves the coherence of what you're saying? It doesn't feel like you've lost your ideas or what you're trying to say. And it creates kind of like this wrapper around the information, and it works really, really well. So make sure to practice that, and I think you'll do just great in your test. Dilafruz, thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Have an awesome rest of your day, and come back, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Dilafruz.
Bye. Goodbye.
All right. Let's give Dilafruz a thumbs up. Lovely, lovely person. Yeah, very good English. Absolutely. Remember, those examples are coherence savers. They really do save your coherence. Okay. All right. Let's circle back to Gopu. Gopu was trying here. I think, Gopu, you realize now that it's something on your end, so you check your system. Gopu, are you ready? Let's try Gopu and see what's going on with Gopu. Hopefully Gopu's fixed whatever issue was going on there. Hi, Gopu. Again, I hear that you picked up, but I do not hear your voice. Gopu, you might have to reconnect to the internet. You might have to check if your IP is being routed through a location that's being controlled or blocked, right? You're in India. Sometimes you can get routed through China. That can be an issue on the rare occasion. But anyway, check what's going on, and then try again. Maybe try with somebody else first. Make sure that it works with somebody else, and then come back to me, okay? All right. Let's try Ahmed Mansour. I don't think we've spoken with Ahmed in a long time. Ahmed, are you ready? Ahmed, if you're there, let me know. Ahmed says yes.
Hello?
Hi, Ahmed.
Hi, Mr. Adrian.
How are you?
I am good. So what about you?
I am doing fantastic. Ahmed, make sure you are listening to me through the website, not through YouTube, okay? So there's no delay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Ahmed, we haven't spoken in a little while, right? It's been a few weeks.
Yeah. Last time it was on speaking about two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time it's a little bit easier. It's part 1. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Actually, I'm a little afraid, sir, and I will try.
That's okay. Being a little bit scared is okay. It keeps us sharp, so it's okay. All right, Ahmed, let's talk about emails. How do you feel when you receive a personal email?
That's an interesting question. Please just give me a moment to think. I frequently send an emails to colleges and professors, and when they reply on my email, I feel shudder and excitement because I am surprising that they answering and responding to my emails. Just like last week, I sent an email to a professor in medieval history. I was wondering if he can give me an information about how to register to university in the Netherlands. and he was kindly, and he answering my questions.
Do you think emails are more convenient than traditional letters? Why or why not?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, do you think emails are more convenient than traditional letters?
That's an interesting question. Yes, I think nowadays electronic emails are more convenient than I would say old school, like using paper and pencil, because electronic emails are fast and it doesn't take any hard. Uh, but the other one of emails, you need a paper. There might be some fault. Um,
Okay, let's stop there. All right. First of all, great technique. So your thinking is correct. I really liked how you gave yourself some time to think about what you will say, which is really, really good. So when I asked you, how do you feel when you receive a personal email? You slowed it down. You said, that's an interesting question. And then the next one, do you think emails are more convenient? You said, can you repeat the question? So you asked me to repeat, which is good. If you don't understand it, ask for it to be repeated. And then you said, that's an interesting question. So that was good. You slowed it down and you came up with some good ideas. Now, there were some parts that were a little bit confusing in your answer. There were some grammatical mistakes, but overall, you gave me an answer, you gave me an explanation, you gave me an example, and that gave me some pretty good idea of what you're saying. So I would comfortably give you a band 5.5. I think some examiners might even give you a 6. It depends how you answer the rest of the speaking. You definitely want to work on your fluency. So I think you have a lot of English words, and I think you actually have fairly good English grammar. You just need to use it more. So you need to be able to use it faster and speak faster. So practice lots and lots of speaking. Whenever you have some time, go on the website, find a speaking partner and talk to them, okay? Okay, Ahmed, are you still there? Did we lose him? Ahmed, you still there? Did I lose you? I'm not sure if Ahmed's still there or we lost him. Anyhow, let me just give you some more feedback on what you said, okay? So this question, how do you feel when you receive a personal email? Make sure you're talking about personal email. You said you feel excitement because you're surprised that they responded. That was great. Just make sure that you're talking about not your colleagues, but your friends and family. Okay? So personal emails are not professional emails, right? So you need to be careful about that. Okay? I like this expression here in the next question. Traditional letters are old school. Just make sure you don't confuse it with emails. Okay? But traditional mail. Okay? Anybody know what the nickname of traditional mail is, by the way? There you are, Ahmed. Hi, Ahmed. I can kind of hear you again. Okay.
yes, can you hear me?
I can. I'm just saying, Ahmed, that you had some good ideas. You had good strategy. Just be really careful about what you say. So personal email, it's not your colleagues and not professors, but it's personal email is like your friends or your family. Okay. It's not professional mail. Do you know what traditional mail is called, or post? So post, traditional mail. There's a nickname for it. It's quite popular. It's called
Letters.
letters are good. Yeah, that's another way to say it. Letters, yes, absolutely. Letters. And there's kind of a funny way to say it as well. We say snail mail. Have you ever heard this? Snail mail?
No, actually.
Okay. Snail is an animal. So the snail is an animal that kind of looks like this. You'll see it here on the screen. In a
Yeah, I
second.
know snail. Yeah, I know. It's slow. It's slow.
It's a very slow animal.
Very slow, yeah.
So these days we say email or snail mail. Okay.
Yeah.
You can say snail mail. So Ahmed, work on that fluency, okay? Lots and lots of practice, all right?
Yes, but in speaking above 2, you give me 6 or 6.5.
Yeah, so your score would definitely range between 5.5 to 6.5 depending on what you say. And again, keep in mind, everybody, that from a couple of questions, it's really hard to figure out your exact band score, even for me. So if you want a very close estimate of your actual band score, I highly recommend booking this full speaking interview practice where we do like a full part 1, 2, 3, full interview, full feedback. Okay, Ahmed? So, but either way, for sure, Ahmed, no question about it, work on fluency. So lots and lots of speaking. Okay, you have good English, it just has to be faster. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vidyan, for your help.
You're very welcome, Ahmed. Keep it up. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Ahmed.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Okay, that was Ahmed. Let's give Ahmed a thumbs up. He was nervous, but you know what? He delivered. It was good. All right. Okay, students, I'm going to stop us there for now as I have to kind of wrap up this class, but don't give up on each other. There are so many of you here. Amra, our moderator, looks like is very anxious to talk to someone, so you could ping him. Gloria, Riyadh, Angel, you're all in here, and speak to each other, okay? Talk to each other and use the website regularly. Join up for the premium course by clicking the big red button that's right there above my head. For General IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It's right there. Thank you to my volunteers. Thank you, Amra and Carolina, for moderating the chat. You are so helpful. It was brilliant. And I'm keeping an eye on who is volunteering and when they had their chance last. So I try to get as many of you in as possible. There were some really important tips in today's class, so make sure to pay attention to those. Again, we have task 2 writing coming up for members tomorrow, and we've got reading coming up for subscribers tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, download or install the apps, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, and visit the websites. They are going to see you through to the end and make sure you succeed on your next IELTS exam. That's it for me for today, everybody. And hopefully I will see all of you tomorrow. Keep your chin up, looking forward, keep your goals in front of you. You're all beautiful, beautiful people. Keep that in mind. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in the world today. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Bye for now, everybody.